Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for taking some time for us today. We are very excited to be meeting with you this afternoon to share a little bit more about the MGT story and all the tips and tricks that you'll need to know to be off to a great start with us. I'm Dan Coakley, Partner Activation Leader here at MGT, and joining us today as well is Allie, Allie, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Okay, hi everybody. Thanks for taking the time to learn more about MGT. And my name's Ali Essie, and I'm the head of our partnership success team, and really looking forward to working closely with you all.
Yes. So we will give everybody else a few more minutes to get logged in. It's about 1 minute till the hour. So for those of you who are already signed in with us, Gold Star students in my book, I really appreciate you being ahead of the game. Today we'll talk a little bit more about MGT, who we are, what we do. We'll roll through a demo of our platform, share some wins so you can see what kind of accounts will be a good help for you with, and then wrap up with a Q&A. So if you have any questions along the way, please feel like you can ask those. We do have audio muted just because in a webinar it gets pretty noisy if you don't do that. But you can use the chat feature. Should be right around here on your screen. You can use that to ask any questions that you have along the way. We'll pause and answer those as we go along. And then at the end, we'll revisit that as well so we don't miss anything. Um, a lot of times when we do these, I've got to start getting my polls set up first. But we like to start with just a quick little poll. Um, if you could pick any superpower to have, what would that superpower be? Feel free to answer that in the chat. If it was me, I would probably pick the ability to talk to animals because I think the camera's a little bit too high to see, but my dog's running around the room right now. And it'd be really nice to just say, like, what is it you find so interesting about my office? And how do you know every time I start a Zoom meeting that it's time to come up and run around? How about you, Allie? What would you pick?
I'm a huge animal lover as well. That's a good one, Dan. I don't know. I really need to think about it, but that's I would probably be in and around the same as you.
A lot of times when we do this, people will say things like, I want to fly or I want to turn invisible. And those would be cool too. But, I just think talking to animals would be a lot of fun. So it is 1 minute past the hour. We'll go ahead and get started off. So let me go ahead and I will share my screen. We'll run through a quick webinar about MGT. So we're building something special together here at MGT. We're not doing it on our own. We know we couldn't do this without you. We are the world's first AI-powered neo insurer. And what does that mean? Nobody really knows, and that's just the way things are when you do something for the first time. So you can kind of think of us in the context of the wider industry, right? You've got your legacy insurance carriers, the companies we're all familiar with. Some of them have commercials that you can't get away from on TV. And those companies have been doing a great job at what they do. I mean, there are companies that have been around for, over 200 years, sometimes 400 years. And that whole time, they've been protecting people, protecting their livelihoods, making them feel safe, taking risks. But as they've grown, as they've evolved, top of mind has not always been speed and ease of doing business and making things delightful. You've had over the last several years insurtechs joining the market. They tend to be MGAs, MGUs, fronting companies, wholesalers. There are a variety of different arrangements. And what they do in essence is they take a nice layer of technology and put that on top of that legacy experience. And it's great when it's great, makes things really easy when, what you're doing kind of fits in the box. But there's a lot of cases where things stray off that happy path and it can get pretty tough. That's where MGT comes in. We're a carrier rated A minus by AM Best, And we're standing behind the risks that we're underwriting with our technology and through our platform. And because we're the carrier, we control everything from setting the appetite and rates all the way out to administering claims. And because of that, it just really lets us deliver a delightful experience to all stakeholders, no matter what it is we're working on. We really have the control over our own destiny. And so I think that makes us something a little special and unique. And you'll see very soon what that actually looks like. So a couple quick points about MGT. I do always like to mention we are rated A minus, which is excellent financial strength by AM Best. We're also writing all of our policies on 100% ISO form business owner packages. What that means to you is those are the most legally tested forms on the market. You can feel confident between the ISO language, the excellent financial strength. If there ever is a claim, it'll play out the way you'd expect it to. You'll notice this if you haven't found it already, but we've really built a zero friction process. There are no accords, no supplementals, no 3 weeks of back and forth emails to firm things up and, redo that yes, no list of questions 100 times. We see it as our job is to get you terms, generally in 3 minutes or less. You're able to do that through our platform. All quotes through the platform are fully bindable. So as long as the information that's being quoted is fully accurate and up to date, that quote is completely accurate in itself. So you can take that to the bank and you can actually bind it instantly through our platform as well. We have a wide footprint. We're admitted in 44 states and the District of Columbia and growing. We should have some exciting news to share there too long, but I can't start to share it or the shepherd's hook will come out from the side of the screen and they'll pull me off. And then that'd be a really crazy webinar. So a couple quick stats to share. I won't go through every single one of these, but one that I do always like to highlight because I think it's something we can be really proud of is that in the fourth quarter last year, we had 100% uptime. When you are going to our platform or your policyholders going to our platform, you don't want to run into a bunch of technical issues and errors. And so 100% of the time, the last quarter, our platform was fully operational. Anytime anyone needed to quote, bind, issue, service, renew a policy, check their docs, make payment, update payment information, etc., we were there and we weren't throwing up roadblocks and delays. Now, let's talk about appetite real quick. We are writing over 300 classes of business focused on small business. That includes risks like artisan contractors, which we just added and we're really excited for, professional and medical offices. We do a lot of retail store classes, and a lot of those have a very high hit rate, so don't sleep on our retail appetite. We can do wholesalers and distributors. We'll write your barber shops, beauty parlors, nail salons, bakeries, grocery stores, convenience stores, liquor stores, restaurants is another great opportunity. So a lot of the businesses that keep your community and your neighborhood moving every day, the kinds of business that fit very well with MGT. Now, I did say we're focused on small business. To us, that means up to 3 million in revenue for most risks, up to 5 million revenue for office risks. We'll write up to 2 million total insured value per location with up to 4 locations per policy. So that gives you a little more flexibility than I think you'll typically find in the small business market where you might have 2 mil, 3 mil capacity per policy total. We will write buildings that are up to 35,000 square feet, and we are able to underwrite risks that are new ventures, have not had insurance previously, have had coverage lapses, claims history can be underwritten. So a lot of times people start to learn about our appetite and they think, oh, it's only the most perfect, neat, nice, in the box kind of risks that I'll ever see. Send those our way if you get them. We'll do great with them. But that doesn't have to be a limiting factor for you. You can send us stuff that's a little outside the box too. Now, we do have a lot of different coverage enhancements available. And I get caught in the trap all the time where I'm talking about our appetite and I'll say we write just the BOP or we just write BOPs, but it's not fully accurate either. We do have a lot of different features that you can add into the bot to really enhance it, make it something that fits that specific business and their exposure. Um, some of the really helpful ones here, we do have hired non-owned auto available for a lot of different risks. Professional and medical offices, retail stores, those should be a great, easy fit for hired non-owned auto. We're also able to offer it for contractors, which I know can be a very attractive policy feature to have, as well as restaurants, as long as they're not doing any self-delivery. We can do special events and host liquor, just included on the bot, workers' comp stopgap in monopolistic states, mine subsidence coverage. So you've got a lot of good things here that you can add and really, build something out that fully protects that business. We do have some different optional coverages and sublimits here. I won't go through every single one of these. I will just highlight that when you're working on a quote through our platform, it will only show you bindable options. So it's never going to show you limits or deductibles or coverages that you can't stand behind. Now, for restaurants, we did add in some specific coverage enhancements for them. If they're doing any valet operations, they can get coverage for damage to customer autos. They can get increased spoilage contamination limits, some other coverages that are really attractive for restaurants. And this is available to you with just a couple clicks of a button. We also have some coverage enhancements available for contractors. We've got automatic coverage for their tools and equipment. Right now, it is just for miscellaneous tools and equipment, but very shortly, we'll be adding in the ability to schedule equipment as well. So stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of exciting updates in the next few months and beyond. We can also cover their installation, which is materials, things that are in transit or at a job site, not necessarily at the business location. Now let's see how it all works. So before I jump into the platform itself, I always love to show off what I think is a really, really helpful resource for you. If you're following along on your screen, go to mgtinsurance.com and then click the BOP Appetite tab. There's a lot of really good information here to help give you more insight into where we'll be able to help. You can see a map of all the states that we're admitted to do business in. Those are the light green ones. Light blue is coming soon. So again, stay tuned. We'll have some good news for you there shortly. And then if you scroll down, you can actually message back and forth with our AI appetite assistant, Amy. Amy's available for you 24/7, 365, which is really helpful because we do keep track of the business flow here pretty well. I log in a lot of mornings and I'll see someone was in there quoting 3 a.m. their time. It's just incredible to me. If you have appetite questions and you call me at 3 a.m., I'll be asleep. I'm charging up so I can come back in the morning and help you out. Amy, on the other hand, is available for you again 24/7. She's always happy to help and can give you a lot of good information. So, just as kind of a quick demo question, let's say, can you write a deli in Philadelphia? And so this is a great resource for a lot of those kind of quick appetite questions that come up. You don't even have to log in to get here. You can ask a quick question. Amy's smart enough to parse out that, even though deli itself is not a specific class code, she knows what that's related to. She knows that Philadelphia is likely the Philadelphia that's in Pennsylvania. So really helpful, flexible tool here. I'll also share that you can click this speech bubble in the bottom right-hand corner. You'll see this as we go through the demo as well. This connects you directly to our support team. The very first message will ask what your question's about so that it can route you to the right person. And then you'll be connected with our human team if it's something that, is a little bit more complex and you need to be. You can also always type in the word human to get connected to our human support team. Just a quick little tip. Thanks for showing up to the webinar. So the fun part happens when we click sign in. We'll get signed into the platform. You'll see on your dashboard here, you've got the ability to start quotes. In the user management page, you can add new users to your team. And then you can click the appetite guide link to go back to that appetite page. Along the sidebar, you've got the home page, a page for policies, quotes, and that user management page. All pretty self-explanatory so far. So I'll go in to start a quote. And this is a point where, I've been doing demos like this for a long time. Even before I got into insurance, I was in sales, and a lot of that was really just a fancy demo. One golden rule for someone who does a lot of these things is stick to the script. You never really want to invite uncertainty because you don't know what's going to happen. But this is actually where it gets fun for me. I'll open the floor up, and if anyone has a favorite restaurant, maybe a favorite barber, maybe a real estate agent or a lawyer that you like to hang out with after work, shout out the name of that business in the chat. And we can actually run a quote with that. And I think this whole system is going to be a lot more exciting for you to see when you can see it in action with a real live business.
Hey Dan, really fast. Sherry said I don't have the start quote option showing on the home page.
Oh, that's really great, really good feedback, Sherry, and thank you for letting us know. What might be happening is you could have support level permissions. We do have the concept of different agent roles or different user roles in the platform. And so support staff can view quotes, they can view policies, they just can't start a new quote. If that doesn't sound right, please just do a quick follow-up in the chat and let us know. And we can have our engineering team look into that so we can get that updated for you. So I will just start here. And, I really like smoothies. That was my New Year's resolution was to start drinking smoothies for lunch. And so let's do a Smoothie King here near our headquarters in the Denver Tech Center in Denver, Colorado. So we'll click continue here. Now, what's happening behind the scenes is it's doing a lot of research on that business. It's finding that it's a juice bar. We're going to select the business owner's policy and click continue. And now it's going to start to put together the details of the business. Behind the scenes, we're contacting dozens of different data vendors. We are looking up somewhere around 3,900 different data points on this business. And it's used to pre-fill a lot of these questions. And you can see here, it happens faster than I can describe it. That's pretty amazing in itself. So first couple questions, no matter what you're quoting, will always be consistent. Have there been any claims? Do we need to add any building coverage? We'll click continue here. And then in the next page, we'll have some eligibility questions. For a Smoothie King, this is pretty straightforward, just one question. You may see three, four, probably never any more than about 7 questions in this page. So it's geared to be pretty fast and easy. And a lot of those questions will pre-fill for you with the MGT technology. Now, I will add in a just quick note and say trust but verify. Nobody knows the risk better than you. Our tech does a really good job at filling in those details, but if something looks a little bit off to you, you can always go in and update it as well. So we'll click continue. And I think all this actually looks really good, but let's say this is a Smoothie King I've been going to for the last few years, and I know it opened in 2022. It's as easy as just typing in the correct information here. So we'll click continue. And now it's asking for special events coverage. As I mentioned earlier, we are able to include special events coverage. Let's say you get this page and they actually don't have any special events. Just put a 0 in and click continue, and then it won't include any special events coverage. Now we'll enter the gross annual sales, and I'll just enter in some number there and click continue. And so in this page, we're able to edit location details. That'll be a specific question about the business hours for this location. And then we're also able to add in any additional insureds that we need to add. You can go in and add these after we have the policy bound, but I personally would recommend including those in the initial quote. There can be charges or additional premium for additional insureds. And so it's just good to have that final, bottom line. This is what it's going to be premium in hand when you get your quote back. So to add an additional insured, just select the type of additional insured to add, enter in their name and address, answer a couple underwriting questions, and then that's all it takes. You can add multiple of these as well if you need to. And then to remove them, just click the little trash can icon next to it. So then we'll click continue to go in and enter in any building information. Now you'll see this bar is loading and it's doing some thinking behind the scenes. It's also researching that building. It's able to do some really cool stuff. My favorite feature, it's a big time saver, is it's actually able to find that address and find that business, trace out in Google Maps the footprint, and then calculate out the square footage based on that footprint. You'll see here it also finds the construction type. It can tell whether it's equipped with automatic sprinklers or not. And then we'll enter in some business personal property for the business as well. This defaults to 100,000, so you may need to update it. But if you do, it's just, again, it's as quick as just entering in the updated information. So we'll click continue here. In this page, if we need to go back and edit this to add additional insureds or remove additional insureds, you can do that. We'll click continue. In this page, you can go back and edit those building details. Click continue. We will keep the TRIA coverage on and then click continue one last time. And now it'll start to load our quote. So behind the scenes, it's doing probably exactly what you'd expect. It's kind of pulling in some of that data that we were finding on that business earlier, verifying it, checking it against what we entered when we were doing the submission, checking everything against our underwriting guidelines, and then calculating out a premium for risks that fit in our underwriting appetite. So just this fast, we've got a quote back. I will highlight the effective date is going to pre-fill for you basically the furthest out date that we can offer. So double check this before you go in to bind it. I do see this happen sometimes where, someone just gets so excited and they're ready to go. They don't even really look at that too hard. They just click that bind button. And let me tell you, I love it. I love the enthusiasm there. I want to encourage it, but I don't want to cause you headaches. So make sure to double check the effective date. As we scroll down through this page, I'll just give it a quick scroll because I'm sure everybody on this call has seen a million pages that look just like this. This is where you can set all of your limits and deductibles. And again, it will only show you bindable options when you're looking to set those limits or sub-limits. So there's a lot of good stuff available. Don't get caught up in just clicking continue as fast as you can. Scroll down to the bottom. You can add some coverages like hired non-owned auto, employment practices liability, employee benefits liability, increase that cyber limit, really beef up some coverage if that's what would fit their business. And then once we're ready to go, we'll just click continue to bind. And then in this space, we can enter in some policyholder information. So I will start to just do that for us and then confirm. And now it's going to send an email over to the applicant to let them know, here's your quote proposal. Here's how you can make payment to finalize and bind it. And at this point, from your side of the desk, it's kind of hands off. Let's let it roll. You are able to keep track of what's happening with that payment link as it goes. This will update for us. And if you're working with someone who just needs a little extra assistance or is not, the most tech forward person you've ever met, hey, no worries, we can work with them too. Just click copy share link here. And then you can send that to them any way you like to, email, text, write it down on a personalized note card, whatever you like to do. I'll just open a new tab and paste that in so you can see this in action. And from here, it's pretty straightforward. We'll just select our payment terms. We offer annual, monthly, or quarterly. When you select those, you'll notice there is no additional charge. The premium is not increasing from going from quarterly to monthly. There is a savings, however, if you pay annually. So we'll click continue. The next step is to complete e-signing. So everything's going to get loaded up. It's going to set us up to easily sign all the documents here in just a couple clicks of a button. We'll just give it the nice squiggle for the signature and then agree and then click sign all. Now, I will say here, this is one thing where, we do have sometimes agents that like to help out their policyholders and make payment. If that's the case for you, have them do that e-signing process, and then you can also click that copy share link button, enter that into a new tab, and then you can make payment on their behalf. They just need to do that e-signing piece first. From here, it's pretty straightforward. We accept credit, debit, or ACH, so we'll just select our payment method, and then we'll enter in some information. Let me see, there's some magic numbers that make this work in our demo system. Let me see if I can remember those. I'm just going to call an audible and say I can't remember it. But really, from here, this is the fun part. All you have to do is click complete transaction. The next page will give you the invoice number and says, thank you for binding this policy with MGT. We'll go back here. You'll see this is updated. If I was able to remember those numbers and make it work, then this would update for us as well. And it would instantly bind that policy and issue it as soon as that payment goes through. So from here, it's all pretty straightforward. You can download the application, download the policy documents in case you need to add those to your file for future reference. They'll always be available to you in our platform as well. There's a button for start another quote if you love that so much that you can't wait to get in and do another one. And from there, it's pretty straightforward. So a couple more slides for you. Let's talk about some recent wins. So these are some accounts that we've found over the last few months that we think demonstrate the type of account that MGT can be a great fit for. We did an electronics retailer. This is actually a cell phone store in Texas. I want to say in the Houston area. And so they only needed business personal property and liability coverage. They were able to get that in 9 minutes. And they were replacing a non-renewal from another carrier. So it could be a really stressful process. Luckily for them, they didn't have to stress for too long. Less than 10 minutes, they had a replacement policy in hand. We did a convenience store in South Carolina, the 1 mil, 2 mil GL, 75,000 in BPP. That cost $3,500 total. And they found significant savings on that quote, and it was completed in 6 minutes. We did a seafood restaurant in Georgia. They had the 1 mil, 2 mil GL. They had liquor liability. They had $1 million in property to cover. Came out to about 15,000 or a little bit under that. And they also tailored those sublimits and added in some other coverages like increased cyber limits, EPLI. They had that higher non-owned auto added in. And so with all that, that was still a good savings. And it just kind of helped that agent reframe the conversation from, I'm saving you a ton of money, apples to apples coverage, to I'm saving you a lot of money and you're getting better coverage too. And really these days, when do you get to get more for less? That agent looked like a rock star that day. So I really like that we have this range in here too. You'll see we're making it really easy when you have those $750 minimum premium quotes that you just want to knock out. But when you've got something a little bit bigger, a little bit more complex, we're making that easy for you too. Now, last but not least, this might actually be the most helpful slide in this entire deck because I'm right here and all my contact info is right here in the upper right part of the page or upper left. We've also got Annalise. She is a fantastic resource for you. She works in our partner success team, and a lot of her day is just spent helping get accounts over the finish line, make the changes that need to be made to make them competitive, to work with folks who have questions, run into some stumbling blocks along the way. Hey, it happens. but you have a whole team here at MGT that's here to support you. We've also got an underwriting team that, believe it or not, does pick up the phone and does answer their emails. They're very responsive and happy to help. We've got instant message support, so if you like to communicate that way, we're available for you there. We've got a customer support team for technical issues, midterm adjustments, all that good stuff. And again, we have Amy who's available for you 24/7, 365 to help with those appetite questions. So I'll keep this pulled up for another minute or so. So if you're copying that information down, that's up here on your screen. And I'll open up the floor again if anyone has any questions or wants to talk through appetite. I'd be happy to do that with you. So feel free to ask those questions in the chat. But this was a really great session. I appreciate everybody joining us today. Um, So, think that what MGT is really wanting to do, the reason why we're here and the reason why we're successful is because we want to take those accounts that land on your desk that really should be easy and make them actually just really, really easy. And so that way you can still write them, you can get that win, you can keep those relationships happy. If you've got those referral networks sending you referrals, keep them happy, show them that you can handle anything they send you and make it a great experience. But it's not something that should take your entire day up either. You've got a lot of important things to do every single day, and so we want to give you back that time of your day, give you that mental bandwidth to deal with and handle and give some attention to all those more difficult and more important tasks that are going to land on your desk too.
Hey, Dan, can I chime in real fast before everyone
Of
leaves?
course.
Also, as you're quoting through our system, please, any feedback that you have, we're a very humble company. We have the power to iterate on product and pricing. So please, if you have something that you are seeing from your perspective, your lens, your market, please let us know if we're missing somewhere, if our pricing looks off. That does not get lost on the initial submission of that feedback. We take that straight to the top with our tech teams and product teams. So we equally welcome the good, bad, and ugly. Of course, we hope a lot of it's good. Our feedback for our new platform has been amazing. Our products, we've got really great feedback, but at the same time, you might see something different, and we'd love to hear about it.
Absolutely. And so I think that wraps us up today. So for everyone who has joined us, again, thank you so much for taking some time for us. We really appreciate the opportunity to connect with you this afternoon. From my part, this is one of my favorite times of the week where we get to connect directly to our most engaged, most interested agents who really want to have that relationship. We want to have that relationship too. So please always feel welcome to reach out if you have any questions, need some additional support, want to talk shop. You have a whole team here at MGT that's here to support you. We couldn't do it without you, and we're looking forward to finding some wins together. So if you enjoyed the show today, jump in, run a few quotes, let me know I did all right, and I hope everyone has a great rest of their afternoon.
Thank you. Bye bye.